Hey there, friends. How's it going? My name's Popeye, and today we have... I know I've said this before, but I think will be the final stream of Trails to Azure. Last time we'd started about a third of the way into the dungeon. We're now just before the final boss. Yeah, what could go wrong? I'm sure it'll be simple, right? And yes, no worries, Beardy. I just came from the eye doctor, so if I'm like squinting at stuff, it's because they put those eye drops in my eyeballs that like dilate your pupils, makes everything blurry. So it's a little bit hard to read some things. Samus is trying to close my game again. Okay, so I think we're basically equipped. I think we have the oh, now Beardy's trying to edit my team. I was gonna say I think we have the team we want. Taking a look if there's... I'm gonna disable this because I'm gonna assume that the final boss is immune to defense down. You guys don't matter because you'll be in our party. Then I guess we're fighting them at full defense. Okay. So I think... yeah, okay. So once we go up here, it's the point of actual no return. This is the team that we are going with. Fun fact, in Super Mario RPG 7 Stars, the final boss is not immune to one-hit KO. This is because of a bug. But you can still one-hit KO the final boss.
Yeah, それだけじゃねえ。
There's also the past. Yeah, because I hope Crossbell's not currently on fire. There's also the part where the lawyer shoots our brother. I don't know how she has this memory, because it's not hers. I know nothing about this except that I know that there are multiple stages and or multiple bosses. That's all I know. I think there's at least 3 phases and or bosses to this fight. Oh, also remember how Wazzy is our highest affinity character and yet we don't bring him to the final battle? Thanks, Wazzy. Would you care to fill us in, Lloyd? Also, why are we going inside of her eyeball? That's clearly like an optic nerve going into an eyeball. With just like a bunch of sperm. Maybe it's an egg and that's sperm going around it.
言葉はいりませんね。ロイドさん、行きましょう。
Oh, controller, no. The controller disconnected, and I might need to rerun the software to connect it. Let's see. Yep, okay. This is why I have it in my tray. I should maybe look at a different controller software. Also, while I'm here. Dang it, I don't even know my own commands. What actually is the command for this? It's been so long. Add chat quote. There we go. Okay, it says the controller's connected, and it is. We've got a healing spot here just in case. It does not heal CP. Is it possible to get hit by the sperm? Oh. I don't know if I like that the child in our party got hit by the sperm. Moving on. Come on, final boss is just lawyer with a gun. Thank you for the quote.
Kitaka.
ようこそ。世界の最果てにして全ての因果律の中心へ。
ロイド、エリー、
Okay,
ティオ、
if you have two lawyers, one has a gun and one has the Bible, which one as an American are you obligated to pick?
よかった。無事でしたか。
キモ!
Also, this is Otto going through these, so I cannot
心
slow
配ばかり
down.
かけて。
I can be Ellie though, for a brief second.
ごめんね。キーヤ、ロイドたちにずっと話せなかったことがあっ
Gun Freedom Bible?
て、黙っていて、隠していてごめんなさい。
I'm trying to figure out which beats which.
負い目に感じる必要もないんだ。
あなたが無事でいてくれるだけで、私たちには十分です。
それに子供なんて多かれ少なかれ親に隠し事をするのが当たり前だっつうの。
そんな当たり前のこと。
But isn't the whole thing that you have the freedom to bear arms? Shouldn't freedom give you your guns? Or are we saying you use freedom but you wield it in like a lack of freedom way?
ベル、イアン先生。
I guess you're using it, you're taking away their freedom to bear arms,
その通りだ。
to become a furry.
怖いですわね。ですが私たちは最大限にキーヤさんの意志を尊重しています。そうですわよね、キーヤさん。 空々しいです。
とにかくまずは戻ってじっくり話をするところからだ。
そうですね。家族会議というやつです。みんなありがとう。でもキーヤ
Also, I'm really hoping you guys burned all your points in Masha and Konami Code and cannot, like, no magic, no skills me during the final fight.
だから
キーヤちゃん、どうして？
何かあるんだな。司法としての力に。
それは
キーヤさん、言って差し上げたらいかがかしら。あなたがこんなことをしているのは全てロイドさんたちのためだって。
なんだと？
かつての幻の司法と違い、ゼロの司法であるキーヤさんには時と空の力が備わっています。因果と認識に干渉する幻の力と時空間に干渉する力が合わさった時、世界を紡ぐ力をキーヤさんは手に入れたのですね。
世界を紡ぐ力。
それは
どういうことだ。それこそ青きゼロの計画の目的にして根幹ともいえる能力、世界を紡ぐ、すなわち因果律を操作し、
はあ？
世界を組み替える。
世界の事象のすべてが持つシステムのネットワーク。それは過去と現在と未来において操作変更できる。
Is this the start of Steins Gate? We can change the past, present, and future.
さすがティオさんは飲み込みそう動力ネットにおいて最上位の管理者が震える権限に近いものがありますよね。
争いを生み出す現実そのものを改変し、例えば帝国と共和国にクロスベルが従属翻弄されている現実を組み替え、クロスベルがその2国の上位にある宗主国として君臨する現実へと変えることも。バカな。
ありえません。
おいおい、いくらなんでもヨタ話が過ぎやしねえか。
さすがににわかには信じられません。おかしなことを言いますわね。あなたたちだって一度それに助けられていますのに。
え？
助けられたって。
Did we all die at some point?
まさか先ほど見た。
数ヶ月前、教団のロッジに潜入した時に。
私を見つけて。
どうやらロイドさんは思い出したみたいですわね。すでに一度ごく小規模ですがあなた方が暴走したヨアヒムに殺されてしまったという現実の改変が。
マジなのか？
最初の時ロイドたちはエステルたちやレンってことそんなに仲良くならなかった。
Gosh dang it, we gotta go back and play the original timeline.
それが原因で4人だけで乗り込んであの子の助けも来ないまま結局。
We both know that's just gonna be giving bits and
司
subs
法と
back
して
to
の
people.
力を暴走させて
The
過去
only
の
one
因
who
果
wins
律
from
に
that is
干渉
Twitch
したん
taking a
です。
cut.
その結果あなた方が殲滅天使の問題を解決するという因果が導かれ巡り巡ってリベールの遊撃士2人があなた方の助太刀に現れ、そして本来あなた方が殺された場面で殲滅天使が助けに来たの
I
です。
can just scold people for any reason then. So I can just scold Chaos for keeping people in his basement, and now he's not allowed to keep people in his basement anymore.
そんなことが
I can also scold like grocery prices for being so high.
だが全くの偽りでもなさそうだな。
さすがにショックだったみたいですわね。ですがゼロの司法の持つ現実を組み替える力の真髄、あなた方の悲劇を回避するなどほんの序の口に過ぎません。このキーヤさんの力を増幅し七葉脈を通じて世界そのものとリンクできる真珠があれば悲劇を回避できるどころか、先ほど先生がおっしゃっていたレベルで
それがこの大樹の力。
おいおい、シャレになってねえぞ。
Or a tornado hits and like flips his house upside down, so they're no longer in the basement because it's now like the top of the house. It's now the second floor.
素敵でしょ。こんな素敵なものがあればもう何も怖くない。世界のすべてに幸福を与え悲しい思いをすることもない。人はあらゆる不安から解放され良きものだけを追求できる。まさしく錬金術の奥義アルス
So
マグ
then
ナ
I
とい
guess
う
if
も
I
のです
scold
わ。
like grocery prices, they could just be out of all food. So now the price, there's no price because there's no food to sell. So humanity just starved to death. There we go.
ベル、あなたは
イアン先生。
So, you may be very happy to hear that in my collection of games demo, I will probably have one stream completely dedicated to like detective games with AI built into them.
本当にそれで
How it's built in, I don't know. Is it generating what people say? Is it generating the plot? But I have at least, I think, 3 games that are AI detective games to demo on stream.
何事にも備えは必要だ。人間の歴史はあらゆるリスクにどう対処するかの歴史でもある。
Let me pull up the names of those for you right now, so you can take a look if you want. So the first one's called Cluaido, Cluaido. Mind Cop, one word. Mind Cop is the second one. You look like you're a detective, E1. Yeah. You are not AI, though. Was Mind Cop AI? No, that one's not AI. But there was another AI one in here. You? No. Thought I had another one in here somewhere. Oh, I guess I was wrong. So there's one. So I've got detective games, but only one of them. Let's see this. Please don't open and play a video. I tried to play a video. This kind of looks like a visual wrapper for if you've ever used like the AI, like Dungeon, whatever that one's called, Dungeon AI. This just looks like a visual wrapper for that, which is cool.
So してキーヤ君はそれを制御できる素晴らしい力を持っている。
I've got probably one demo, and I might not do all these demo streams at once. I might kind of break it up into a little bit as kind of like a breather in between other things. But I've got one that'll just be like detective games. I've got one that's horror games. I've got one. I think I've got some kind of like simulation kind of ones. Yeah, no. I've currently got 14 games on my demo list. So that's probably 3 streams, give or take.
それは否定のできない事実。
その結果キーヤをそんな場所に押し込めることになったとしても、かつての幻の司法はやがて心を病み、自らを消すという結末に至ったと聞いています。
When we do what will depend a little bit on Mrs. Popeye. She wants to be here for the horror ones. I don't think she cares as much about the others. So next week is potentially looking good for that. So we might do the horror ones next week. I don't think we're gonna have another stream this week. Just there's some other stuff. Just like some social obligations and stuff. So yeah, so next week might just be like 2 game demo streams.
そんな重責を押し付けるつもりなんですか？
ロイド、それは。
Is that a question? Okay, that's a question for Sam's.
私たちがいるわけですわ。キーヤさんに世界改変の責任を全て押し付けるのではなく、先生のような有識者がより正しい方向へ世界を変える道しるべをアドバイスしていく。それならば話は別でしょ。
民主主義的なプロセスを全て否定するというの？
民主主義の弊害はエリー君もよく知っているはずだ。ともすれば修具政治に陥り、大切なことを迅速に決めることもままならなくなってしまうシステム。クロスベルに限らずどこにでも見られる現実ではないかね。それに私とて自らの知見だけをキーヤ君に提示するつもりはない。マクダエル議長のような有識者にもいずれ協力を。ディーター君もまたマネジメントという観点から改めて役に立ってくれるだろう。そして君たちもまた私たちの試みに協力してほしいのだ。新たな時代を開くためには君たち若者の意見も必要だ。そして君たちならば、ここにたどり着いた君たちならば、これからの時代に何が必要なのか身をもって分かっているに違い。どうかね、この提案は。
Do we have a choice?
くそ、変に説得力がありやがるが。
イアン先生、結局先ほどの質問には先生は本当にそれでいいんですか？あらゆるものには尊厳がある。人にも社会にも歴史にも間違っていたり悲劇を生み出す結果につながったとしても、それをなかったことにするのは関わった人たちの尊厳を侵すことだ。例えば悲劇から立ち直ることで強さを手に入れる人がいるように、本当は先生にも分かっているんでしょ。
ロイド、
確かに人は正しい行動のみを取れる存在ではない。
でもその過ちをなかったことにしていては成長することもできない。共に学び力を合わせ前に進んでいくことの意味。
確かにそいつがバッサリと切り捨てられちまうってわけだな。
ロイド、
キーヤ、俺たちと一緒に帰ろう。もうこれ以上俺たちのために無理をする必要はないんだ。前に俺たちが命を落としたという時も辛くて苦しくて悲しい思いをさせてたんだな。ごめんなキーヤ。俺たちが不甲斐ないせいで
んなことない。あれはキーヤが勝手にやったことだから。だからロイドが謝ることなんて。
だったらキーヤ、どうしてずっと浮かない顔をしているんだ。キーヤも気づいているんだろ。俺たちの死を悲しむあまり因果率ってのを操作して現実を変えてしまったこと、それがやっぱりズルだったってこと。
キーヤ、
死んじまう
Place
結
your
末が良
bets.
か
Do
っ
we
た
ever
とは
find out
さ
what
すがに
Kia stands for? It's clearly something considering the A at the end is capitalized.
それでも反則技ってのはどうしても言えちまうかもな。
イアン先生、
Now, Ellie's got an L. In fact, she basically has two silent. Her name could be two letters. L-E. Ellie.
それについては政治も同じだと思いま
So
す。
she's got a silent E and a silent I.
時には王道でなく
And if you put L, I, and E together, you get lie.
ですが邪道を前提とするのはやはり間違っています。
エリー君、
キーヤちゃんという個人の超越的な力に頼ること、それはもはや政治ではなくただの困難な状況をしかるべき手続きと対話のプロセスによって乗り越え、それが真の政治だと思います。
Wonder how much of this text is different if we had brought Wazi and who else am I missing? Oh, Noel.
多分キーヤの力がなければ
There you go, Beardy. Her name is Noel because she didn't have the L because Lloyd stole them all. There you go.
大陸全土の混乱、経済危機、そして帝国は内戦が終了したいクロスベルに牙を向くでしょう。それでも俺たちはキーヤに全てを押し付けるのが正しい選択だとはとても思えない。与えられるだけの奇跡に頼ったら俺たち自身が成長できないから。だから苦しくても今は筋を通すべきだと思うんです。
ロイド。
I wonder what Kia's plan is here. So let's say we choose this path, we fight them, and we die. Is she just gonna keep resetting the world until we either give in and accept or we win?
ここまでか。自分では支援のつもりではないと思っていたのだが、やはりどこか欺瞞があったようだ。
Gosh dang it. Companion book that we probably won't have.
まるで外
I
空
also
に
read
諭さ
none
れ
of
て
those
いるような気
books.
分だったよ。
先生、
すまない。君に言えた義理ではなかったな。キーヤ君、いろいろと惑わせてすまなかった。君は君自身の判断でどうするかを決めるといい。君にはもうそれができるはずだ。
先生。
そしてマリアベル君、期待に応えられなくてすまない。どうやら私の出番はここまで。
構いませんわ。もともと先生には計画の総合的なプランニングをお願いしていただけですから。
Let's wait until after
お疲れ様でした
everything, and then we
先
can
生。
get the spoilers. And if you feel like you need to go to bed because that COVID vaccine's kicking your butt, you can always just DM it to me, and then I will not take a look at it until the very end. See ya, nerd. With that, there's no more lawyers left in this universe. Also, the song is called Delusion of a Thousand Years.
これも
Sounds good.
因果応報か。ガイ君、 ロイド君、すまなかった。
Oh, they even added like blood trails behind his arm towards the pillar.
イアン先生、
なんということを。
どうして。
使えない道具を処分したというだけですわ。その意味ではキーラさん、あなたも例外ではなくて。
キア、
おい、うちの子に何しやがる。
I'll assume that's you.
これ以上迷うのなら意志を持たぬ愛らしい人形のようになってもともと黒い助の秘術によって生を与えられたホムンクルス、どのように扱おうが私の勝手ではなくて。
ふざけるな。
ベル、言っていいことと悪いことがあるわよ。
撤回してもらいます。
いいでしょう。
I mean, that's from my actual phone. I try to close Discord.
エイドスを超える司法を求め、全てを犠牲にしてきた一族の末裔。その1000年の猛襲の重みとあなた方の1年にも満たぬ絆のどちらが果たして強いのか。互いに視力を尽くして
I hope that includes your car. Your car is silent and manual.
望むところだ。
ベル、手加減はしないわ。
漆黒の法力を感知、全力で重複します。
ようこ
So
そ。
I guess your car is silent and manual. Maybe if you turn notifications on your car, it'll work. Okay, this is interesting. So we start at a corner. Okay.
分析を詳細データゲットです。
よし。
And we can only walk along
混沌の住人たち
the
よ。
like lines.
任せろ。
そこだ。
Look at that. She's resistant to attribute down. This is one of the final bosses. I believe there's at least 3 forms. But beyond that, I cannot tell you.
さて、これは
Like, if it's like just this boss in 3 forms.
おいでなさい。混
Sadly, I
沌の
think
住人た
Nom
ちよ。
and Mash A were lost in her turn. That is the plan.
お返しです。
行くぞ。
こんなのはどうかしら。
えい。お返しです。
Oh, are S brakes disabled in this area?
リアリス、お行きなさい。
It appears S brakes are disabled. Okay. So with that in mind, I don't have to, at least for right now. We're gonna hit all 3 of you. No, of course not. What about... I'll do
これはどう？
you two.
俺の番だ。
Try to give my healer some space. Wow, what can you do there, Randy?
行くぜ。甘い。俺の番だな。
Oh, he just couldn't use S breaks because he can use any crafts.
行くぞ。
大変ですわね。
Okay. We need to get someone up close to her.
お返しよ。
アリスカナン追いきなさい。いい子
私の
たち
番です。ドライブ開始。やあ、
行くぜ。さあ、俺の番だ。
さて、これ大変ですわね。エニグマ
任せてくれ。てや
行きます。はい。
Okay, so she can teleport us back. So it seems it. You know what this feels like? This feels like an old school Mario Party map
混沌の
where
住
you
人
make
た
it
ち
to
よ。
the center to get your star. Except the star here is a boss you need to fight,
おっしゃ。
and then you get teleported back to the start. You can go back.
シャドウさあ追いきなさい。いい子たちに
Use this heal.
ありがとう。
来ました。
行くぞ。
I'm gonna say Mario Party 3 because I feel like that was the only one of like the original N64s that might be dark enough to have something like this.
おっしゃ。
行くぞ。よし。
Oh, I love the dual maps. They are my favorite.
行くぞ。
I was so sad that they never continued duel. And what was it? 4 had that like robot fighting arena thing, which was kind of cool, I guess. But they like essentially just
ドライブ
stopped
開始。
like doing those kind of like extra features after Mario Party 4, was it?
ありがとう。
Or was that 5? Maybe that was 5. Okay, that attack she just did about 3,600 damage, which means if it killed the lawyer in one move, his health was under 3,600 health. I'm just gonna move you out of there.
よし。てや
あら結構やりますわね。こんなのはどうかし
俺の番だな。は
行きます。
No items. No magic.
No skills.
Dang, just as I was about to cast an art. Okay. So, 4 people. So this is the first one, which basically leaves it as move or attack. Okay. Okay. Hydrate and a Okay, I think you should be able to hear me now. Great. I brought captions here for good luck as well. Anyways, I was saying I don't know if I've juggled in the void before, so this will be interesting. I'm not... Can you even see what I'm holding? Okay, you can. For a second I thought... Okay, let's pull the camera up a little bit. Because I don't think I've juggled in the void before. And I can't look at the camera as I'm doing this. So for all I know, as I throw the balls, they become lost in the void. And it just looks like I'm, I don't know, shrugging a lot, like very aggressively and to a certain rhythm. This is also probably the first time I've juggled in like 6 months. So I'm actually really impressed with my ability. Oh, I shouldn't have been impressed. Okay, I'll probably adjust the screen in the future to, at least for this screen in particular, to not have the background removal. But for right now, I'll just try to keep all the balls in front of me. Which means tighter, faster throws to try to keep it in front of me. All right. All right. So there was your juggle. So I still have, and I have to readjust my camera. Gosh dang it, Beardy. Okay. Wait, can I make myself invisible? One sec.
It's time to break things.
One sec. I'm trying to break my camera first. Okay, so we'll do the stretch. I'm trying to think of what I could actually feasibly try to glitch on this. Some thoughts that come to mind. One, is there a way I could push an enemy so that they fall outside of the bounds of this grid that the characters are on? Thought one. Thought two, if I cluster like a bunch of people in one corner and have her teleport someone, and if we're lucky, they teleport them to the same corner the other 3 people are in, could it push them off the grid? That being said, I know you guys can't see it right now. I can tell that the corner grid is a 3x3. There's definitely space for everyone. Trying to think what else I could do. Okay, let's start with those ones for now. Okay, so we've got 4 turns of... Gosh, every time I move the camera back. Okay. Well, joke's on you. I don't even remember what I'm learning. So let's pull up the instructional video, which I have saved in a tab somewhere. Okay. Samus, have you guys not spent enough point? Let's quickly do the math. Wait. Okay. After we do the math, can I glitch juggling? But let's see. In the past several minutes, Beardy has spent 5, 10, 15, 15,500. Samus is. I'm just gonna do the totals. We're at 20,500 points. 21, 23, 26,500 points has been redeemed in about the last 6 minutes. Okay. Well, I'm not sure how much of this you're going to see because some of it may go into the void, but we're going to try. Okay. So what we're trying to learn is called Infinity. Essentially what we're doing here is you have these two hands are just going to throw up and down. That's it. And they throw at the same time. Ideally, the same height, which helps them land at the same time. While they're doing that, you have another ball that's doing the figure 8. I'm going to try to hold it like this. So it's called the Infinity because it's doing the infinity symbol around the other two. Okay. So we start with columns. So what columns is like this. Here's like a staggered column. So you can see the middle one switches between hands. And then you get the columns I'm trying to do, where one hand is just doing a 2-ball juggle and the other one's doing a fake. I'm just throwing it up and down. And now what we want to do is this. So once these ones are up in the air, that one gets thrown over. You catch the ones that came down, throw them up again, and then catch the other one. Okay. That worked. It didn't look pretty, but that was the right, timing. You have to be careful not to hit your other balls as you're doing it. So, one of my problems there, I don't think you can see this off screen. I'm throwing one much higher than the other. So let's start with trying to... And you can also see there, you also want them to stay vertical, and sometimes I'm throwing them kind of at an angle. I'm not exaggerating, but sometimes they're going in a little bit. So trying to make sure that I'm throwing them to about the same height. Okay. Now let's bring it back. Also, I thought you guys wanted me to beat this tonight. This doesn't seem like you want me to beat this tonight. Okay. Making some progress. Oh, is this magic? This is also now a magic redeem. That was all right. You're right. Sorry, we redeemed no magic. My bad. Okay. I understand. I definitely need more practice with this, but that was your juggle learn. And I don't think there's anything left for you to redeem. Don't think. So. Juggling can go away. Yes, I believe the food are follower, and you can only do sub. Alright. So we have no magic, no items, no... no skills. So, okay. So first question... Okay, I cannot just select a spot here even though it lets me move over top of it. It doesn't let me go outside the bounding box. Okay, let's do the next thought, which was, what happens if we like just put everyone in a corner? Yeah. We're just, so that's one person of note. I think we're just gonna leave you in the center. And then we're gonna move you over as close as we can. Actually, you can be the middle person. Okay, that's 3, I believe. 3 for the notes. Then we'll be back to center. I scolded you for spending points. I can also scold you guys for... I know if someone was on... What are you at? 56? 56? Oh, you're so stuck in the corner? Okay. You were the 4th person, so I guess you're just moving. Okay, now we can use skills and stuff again. Okay.
Suspicious.
We can scold you too.
Suspicious.
I am a scary scoldy robot. Heed my monotonous robotic warning. Cheer 1.
Okay, so this skill that I'm going to use has a special ability that it pulls things in towards it. So my thought is if I can use it from like somewhere like I don't know, here, can I pull this guy off the road? Let's see. So if I come over here, looks like you stayed along the path. Trying to put... Is there a spell maybe we could use for this? Okay, you have spell suction. It'll only let me cast the spell on... Can we pull her out of the center? She's just been staying in the center. Yeah, lady, why don't you come take a spin with us? Oh, did she just modify it? What did she do? She did something, I don't like it. Also, I'm now able to use my arts, which I will totally do, because half my team is currently dying. Okay, so suction also didn't pull them off. But let's see if I do a suction from here. It'll pull either of them.
Suspicious.
Cheer 1 I failed 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 I failed
混沌の住人たちよ。
さて A がシステム全開した
俺の番だな。
So it did look like maybe she kind of got pulled off the track. But maybe she has special abilities that let her get pulled off. Or it just knew that she was going to end up there anyways. So you guys can do like nothing. Okay, so I think that's all the glitching attempt I can do for now.
行くぜ。俺の番だな。
私の番ね。
She does look like she teleports you by default to the center square. So I wonder what would happen.
見えた。これはどう？
If she tried to teleport you someplace where someone was already on the center.
エニグマコ。それ。
俺の番だな。
Suspicious. Show love one. What did one potato say to the other?
What did one potato say to the other, Sam says?
ドライブ開始。
こんなのはどうかしら。
Suspicious.
Show love one. I'm so big.
Suspicious.
ありがとう。よし。
I guess it depends what state that potato was in.
お返しよ。
さて、あらあ
行くぜ。
ら、大変ですね。
さてと。
行くぜ。
私の番ね。そこ。はい。そこです。
さて、あらあら、大変ですわね。
She seems to stop summoning her friends and it's just like the two dolls.
行くぞ。行くぞ。
さて、頃合いか。あらあら、大変ですわね。
That 10% heal is not a good time.
ミスティいい子たちに。
今のは。メガネの奇跡光と。ありがとうございました。行きます。
Yeah, please don't make my bot do lewd things, thank you.
俺の番だな。
Okay, so she can throw 3 in a corner. I guess the other thing would be, what if...
お返し
So
よ。
if we get Kyo close to her to activate the teleport, this would be a good test. There's also a crap ton of enemies in that corner.
こんなのはどうかしら。
俺の番だな。
大丈夫ですか？私の番です。
行くぜ。
I love the fact that we're just all in the corner and just using like our ults on her.
終幕と行きましょう。それ。
俺の番だな。
Did you ever add more inches to your
おい
car?
でなさい。混沌の住人たちよ。それ。
We just got an achievement for defeating 16 enemies in a single battle. I think it's only possible in battles like this where they keep like regenning.
行くぞ。Suspicious.
Cheer 1. Let's see how this goes.
俺の番だな。
It could be mundane, or hilarious. We don't know. Tot. Blub blub blub.
Tot was a letdown, but Blub 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 was okay.
ありがとう。任せて。
Suspicious.
Cheer 1. 7777 777 7777.
サンクス。
さあ。
Okay, this is
楽
new.
しんできてくださいね。
What the heck is going on?
運がいいですよ。
What in the Banjo Kazooie door is that?
どして。ここまで。
Why did you just feed us to the book from Yu-Gi-Oh?
行くぜ。行くぜ。
さて、頃合いかしら。あらあら、大変ですわね。
はい。
That's a lot. Yeah, unfortunately, I think your timing was during her
ド
attack.
ライブ開始。
よし。セット。
それ。
やあ。ありがとう。行きます。私の番です。永遠システム開放します。位相空間に。
それ。
お返しよ。
行くぜ。
おいでなさい。混沌の住人たちよ。
任せて。エニグマ。
Oh no! I don't know what you made me cast, Beardy. Gosh dang it. That was supposed to be a heal.
えっは。こんなの。
Thankfully, it cast exactly what I wanted to cast on the person I wanted it to be cast on.
俺の番だな。
But I really had no idea what was going on. You literally cast healing on the character at 1.
さて。ドライブ開始。やあ。
サンクス。
おいでなさい。混沌の住人たちよ。
任せてくれ。さあ。
おいでなさい。混沌の住人たちよ。
私の番です。
We have...
ドライブ開始。
Suspicious.
Show love 1. I miss the old bit interface. This new one is terrible.
やあ。
ありがとう。
行きます。ドライブ開始。それ。
What's that? Which
任
makes
せて。
大変です。
new things bad? Who would have thought it?
今のは。さてと。
ありがとう。
ました。
任せろ。 行くぜ、俺の番だな。
This is the default one. Let me see what it's called. Speaker bot.
Suspicious.
PJ Salt 1. Am I the worst at this game ever? Yes. I don't understand anything. Stop hitting me, spank religiously, hold on, hold on.
I believe it's this one. Let me.
This is a test message.
No, is it this one?
This is a test message.
They're called Brian. I think it's just like the Microsoft Brian voice. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Ironically, Beardy, I listened to all those songs maybe like a week and a half ago. Brian.
行くぞ。行くぞ。
そんなありえませんわ。
よし。
Okay, there's first battle done.
悪くない。
Dang, we're so close to getting to XP 4, which I believe is also an achievement. Okay, automatically. Arena Transients.
Kia! 大丈夫か?
Yeah, so I'm using SpeakerBot for this. That's where my text-to-speech is coming from.
なんとかよかった。
やれやれだぜ。
なるほど。
Oh, this is a cool song.
さすがアリオスさんたちを退けただけはあるよね。ベル、ここまでにして。
The others were harder than you,
も
Belle.
うこれ以上私たちが戦う意味なんてないわ。私の可愛いエリー、あなたの頼みならばと思わなくもありませんけど、知っているでしょう？私が可愛い子ほどいじめたくなってしまう性格だと。何を？ところでキーヤさん、あのことをロイドさんたちは知っているのかしら？その様子では伝えていないみたいです。ちょうどいいですわ。ここで彼らにも教えてあげるとしましょうか。
やだ、ベル、お願い。
どういうことだ？
つうかお嬢さん、うちのキーボーをあんまいじめんじゃねえっての。
あなた方は本当にキーヤさんを愛しているのですね。クロイスケが教団に託した本物の魂を持たないホムンクルス。教団が犠牲にしたあまたの魂をつなぎ合わせただけに。
今さらそれがどうした？そんなのはとっくにサイドから聞いて知っている。
キーヤがキーヤとして私たちのそばにいること、それ以上に大切なことはないはずです。
キーヤさん、あなたは本当に幸せ者ですわね。 ロイドさんたちの
Well, I guess I can only hope that in the next 9 minutes none of my redeems come off cooldown.
あなたの力によって。
Are you implying she modified multiple world lines?
Suspicious.
Show love one, I just have biddies.
Suspicious.
Oh, I found an issue. I now have a very tiny closed caption because I added it to the scene. Okay, let me make some notes on things to fix. So, full screen base has extra CC. Full screen base can't see balls. Sounds accurate, right? There's also an extra suspicious when you guys do
Show
bits.
love one, I was wondering when you would notice that. I, the omnipresent Brian, know everything. I see you when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake.
Samus says, where were you about 2 Christmases ago, and did it involve fire?
あなた方は不思議に思わなかったのかしら。多分出会ったばかりの頃からキーヤさんが愛しくて守りたくて仕方がなかったのでしょう。それはなぜだと思います。
Show love one, my legal counsel has advised me to not answer that.
Oh yeah, and for some reason sometimes it also does another voice, which I made for testing, but you can have 2 voices. My bot just like transitions between the 2.
まさか。
おいおい、何をバカな。
あのヨアヒムはもちろんマフィアや魔獣ですらキーヤさんを積極的に害そうとはしなかった。誰とでもすぐに仲良くなり無条件で愛されてしまう女の子、その異常さを誰一人として疑問に思わなかったのではなくて。違うの。いいえ、違いません。あなたには無意識のうちに周りの人間の心と魂をつかむ力がある。誰もがあなたを愛し、
Yeah, I was in another stream today, and someone had just got onto HRT. It took them 5 years and 1 month because for a good chunk of that, it was illegal in their state.
Suspicious.
Show love one, uwu.
Suspicious.
Potential good news in Canada, though, is some of the people who might be elected have promised that within, I think it was 1 year, they're hoping to give every single person a family doctor. And that's been a problem in Canada for a while, is, well, we do have free healthcare for most everything that's not cosmetic. Finding a family doctor is actually a pain. So when we moved, the first time, it took me, I think, 6 months to a year to actually find a doctor.
エイドスの課した枷をも打ち破る真にして義なる地上の神。青のデミ
Unfortunately, I
ウル
don't
ノスです
think I could responsibly sponsor you.
そんなごたく知ったことか。
If you ever did come up here, though, you're more than welcome to stay with us for a little bit if you're checking things out.
しい話なんてのはそれからでも遅くはねえだろ。
巨大な霊視体の権限を確認。中枢のコア部分にキーヤがいます。
何としてもあそこからキーヤちゃんを解放しないと。
みんなこれが最後
He
の
says this
戦い
is
だ
the final battle.
全身全霊俺たちの全てを
For the most part, you call around to different offices and see if they are accepting new patients. You're either going to get one of three answers: no, yes, or waitlist. So there was a doctor that I had wanted, and I got waitlisted for them, and I think it took 4 months after that to actually be a patient there. It helps if a family member is already there. So once we moved again, we were able to get my wife into a doctor because her mom went to the same doctor, and then once my wife was there, then I could join because it's a family doctor, so you're allowed to have your whole family there. But you can't just like add random like people unless they're like accepting new people. Okay, we're just going to try to get rid of some of the guards these guys have. It would help if you hit though. Okay. So they can recast guards on themselves. I'm sorry. There's no way you're the final boss if I'm dealing 1/3 of your health and damage in one turn. Yeah, so walk-ins are different. So, if you are sick, you can go to a walk-in. However, it's advised in Canada that if you have a family... So a walk-in is like... I'm sick, it's not like something you go to the hospital for, but maybe you need a prescription or you have like a rash or something that you want to get checked out. And a walk-in is, you don't need to be a member of that practice. It's literally just a building that anyone can walk into, say, hey, I want to see a doctor for such and such a reason. The problem with walk-ins is because anyone can go there. They usually have stupid long lineups. And from what I understand, the way walk-ins kind of work is, if you are a doctor with a practice, you have to, by law in Canada, spend a certain amount of time helping in public facilities. So that's walk-in clinics, hospitals. If you're like a specialist, maybe you're doing, like x-rays or like reviewing other cases. So there'll often be cases where even if you have a family doctor, they're only open certain days, because on the other days, maybe they're at like a walk-in or at the hospital, or sometimes they'll do it where they'll like take the morning, like the mornings off Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or evenings or whatever for the exact same purpose. Now, what you're supposed to do is, if you can get an appointment with your family doctor, you go to your family doctor because they obviously have all of your medical records. They can, reference it against any past blood work, past scans, anything like that. And it also means it keeps the walk-in clinic freer for people who don't have a family doctor. Obviously, if it's a medical emergency, you go straight to Emerge. Now, if you have a family doctor, the only time you would go to a walk-in is you can't get an appointment with your family doctor, or your family doctor's closed. Say it's, too late, or they're not open on the weekend, something like that. Also, in Canada, to kind of alleviate some of the pressures of doctors, there's certain things you can actually do at like a pharmacy. If you go to, say, you just want like Walgreens or something like that, where pharmacists can give you certain injections, as well as diagnose certain like rashes or conditions like that, and provide you prescriptions and fill them on the spot. Or, like, I'm trying to think of some of the ones. like warts, I think is one of them. If you have like plantar warts or something like that, and you don't want to go see a doctor, you can go to a pharmacist, and they have to be trained to diagnose a small limited set of things. And that also, one, it helps because when they fulfill the prescription, they're already there. They wrote the prescription for you, so you can get your prescription immediately right after. And two, again, it kind of helps keep people away from doctors. And a lot of pharmacies here are open a lot later and more flexible hours. Hope that explains. I know that was a lot.
行きます。さて、思想空間絶対衝撃個別
How much is a passport in the US? So my wife just got her passport renewed in Canada. It is currently $160 and it lasts for 10 years. Plus however much it costs you to get your photo taken, which I think for her was like $25, $30, something like that. Yeah, in Canada, passports used to be either 5 or 10 years. They're now only 10 years. Okay. Convert that to Canadian it's about the same in Canada. It's just like a straight conversion. What did that do? I don't know what that did, and that scares me. Did you just reverse time? Yes. Yeah. In Canada, I mean, in theory... Actually, no, in Canada you have to go to an approved passport place. Now there's a ton of them, but they can reject your passport photo really easily. Some of the main reasons, if you have glasses, it's recommended you take them off, because if they see a reflection in it that, you know, maybe it's someone else, that could be picked up by some kind of like AI facial tracking, immediate denial. If you have very reflective jewelry for the exact same reason, if you have, you know, like big hoop earrings or something, they can reject you for that. They can reject you for having too much makeup, for having anything like false eyelashes or anything like that that's not like part of who you actually, you know, are. You have to, like, you know, glue it on or whatever. Also a rejection. Yeah, here you can get your photo taken at the post office. That is one of the places that does it. Any like money place, like Western Union, anything like that will do it. Most tech stores will do it because they already have like the camera equipment and stuff, or any like printing location will do it. What the heck are you summoning? Let me summon Vegeta. You are blind?
ドライブ開始。やあ。さてと、そこ。
行くぜ。
Okay.
おっしゃ。
Do that to take the guard off. Alright, take care, Samuses. Yes, I'm telling you what to do. Looks like we're in phase 3.
Suspicious.
Show love one, don't tell me what to do.
Suspicious.
Tier 1 MDS is a great mod and a wonderful friend.
おっしゃ。
Suspicious.
Show love one Beardy is a great mod and a wonderful friend.
Wait, the eggs can move? I just thought we were trying to make them not hatch.
任せてくれ。
行くぜ。おっしゃ。
Suspicious.
CHER1 Top Kai plays is a great mod and a wonderful bot.
行きます。私の番です。お返しです。
Where did Rain go? Is Randy inside of that thing? We're just gonna item that. No?
行ける。行くぜ。まだまだ。
ピンチです。
Those things move fast. Okay, that's 2 of them down. And half our party. 3/4 of our party, actually. Oh, there's 3 of them down, actually. Oh, nice. You counter-killed both of them. That was clutch. Make sure these two are used. Oh, and that revives everyone. Even better. Even better.
エニグマコリャ
ありがとう。行くぞ。で
俺の番だ。
はいエニグマコロそれ任せて
Now we need to cure you of your silence.
俺の番だな。
We'll use S break, so I guess you're just no magic.
行くぜ。おっしゃ。
さてエニグマコロそれ
サンク
お返しよお返しよエニグマ駆動
俺の番だな。
Maybe we'll try to leave one alive this time. I know we counter. What the heck is this thing? Why have you, like, Thanos, like, warped something in? And why is it dropping nukes on us?
行くぜ。
今のは
ありがとう。
ました
任せろ。
行きます
行くぜ。
はい
任せてくれ。エニグマそれ。
Already does magic. Okay, good question. So,
ダメです
I guess I don't have full access to like enemy AI, but some of them clearly just go for like the closest one, and there are certain like items you can equip that actually make you a larger target for enemies. So one of the strategies is to make yourself a very large target and then buff your evasion so much that they all miss and you can counterattack them all. So that's a strategy. Other things that can affect it, if your enemy has, so for example, if I go to like something like this, you can see it has a circle that's the AoE. So if your team's clustered together and your enemy has an AoE attack, like this, you can just hit the entire party, which can in theory kill them. So usually it's a good idea to spread your party out. However, conversely, I can have support things. For example, won't let me cast any of these, but I might have a healing ability or a buff ability that's also AoE. So I want my team close together for those buff or heals. So it's that balance between, I want my team close enough that I can they can heal each other. Oh, and also if you're using an item, your character has to physically go up and use the item on them. So for example, if I want to heal Oh, here's actually a perfect example. I have a character who's down right now, but I don't have the movement to go and pour this healing liquid down their throat, glass and all. So this character cannot actually heal them. And sometimes characters will have even just like abilities that are buffs. You don't have any, but Lloyd does, where he has one that I use a lot at the start of battles, which is called Encourage, which buffs everyone's attack power for 5 turns. But you have to be close enough to hear his words of encouragement, otherwise you don't get the bonus. Yeah, so in theory, you could have your entire party at the back, and just like trying to cast magic. So let's see if you're now close enough to actually res this person. Yes, you are.
助かりましたやっお返しよお返しよダメダメ
And double naps.
助かりました
まだまだ
There's one down.
ありがとう
気合を入れろ
なんとかしないとドライブ開始それありがとうお返しよはいエニグマクロそこやありがとう任せてくれ
任せろ
Okay, we're down to 1.
行きます
Yes, so if you see on the top left-hand corner of the screen, you can kind of see the order of turns. And you can see here the delay effect. So if I was to use just a basic attack, you can see her delay is 25, and that moves her roughly to the bottom of the current order. Now, it can move you further past, but some things, you can see this one is only a delay 21. So you're asked about movement. Movement's only a delay of 17, so moving is actually faster than if you stop and use an ability. So, sometimes what I'll do is if I know an enemy is going to do something, that means my attack's going to be useless. Let's say they're going to heal or something like that. Rather than attack, I might just move, and literally you can just move and stay in the same spot, because that is one of the least amount of delays your character can do, which means they'll get to move again faster. And you can also see it here on spells. So like, these spells are 8, this one's 12, this one's 6. This one's 12, and so on. This one has a delay of 1, which I actually will use because she needs help. And we're going to leave this one alive and try to focus on this big thing. Oh, so here's the encourage one I was talking about. So you can see it has a range effect. And you can see who's going to be captured in it. Oh, please don't counterattack, kill it. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that his AoE wasn't going to kill this last thing, so I checked on his turn. because you can only set one thing as like your S-craft if you pop it from the menu, but on a character's turn you can actually select any of their S-crafts. You just have to wait for their turn is the downside.
Enigma 駆動行きます。ドライブ開始。
よし
Okay, it's in counter guard mode. That's probably a good spot for it, actually.
私の番です。今のは
ありがとう。
ました。はい。
Okay, new actually healing is also helpful.
任せろ。
We'll test my theory that he won't summon new ones until this one's dead.
行くぞみんな一気に行くぞ
ターゲット詳細データゲットです。私の番ね。エニグマ
ありがとうおっしゃ俺の番だな
今のは
ありがとう
ました。さてドライブかや好きです
よし
Preparing an attack. Okay. Just something that restores CP. That's enough. No, okay, we're at full health. Can I impede you? Oh, okay. I can just make the final boss not cast spells. That works too.
Enigma 駆動
ここだ。
任せて。
This time it's a craft.
俺の番だな
Don't have to impede a craft, can I? No. Okay, it ate the one egg to give itself strength up. I am fine with that. Unless it gets me right here. Okay, so if you don't kill the eggs, it absorbs them for a bonus and then summons new ones. But it gave us a good amount of time without like having to worry about 4 attacks. So I think actually just leaving one egg was the right strategy.
まだやれるそこだそこだすまないみんな
まだ
なんとかしないと。
Yeah, he's souping up. Not a fan of that.
ドライブ開始。それ。
ありがとう。
Ooh, that's a total party wipe.
行くぞ。みんなと。
エニグマ行きます。ドライブ開始。
俺の番だな。ほらよ。行くぜ。俺の番だな。マジかよ。
俺の番だな。
なんとかしないと。今だわ。
ありがとう。
ました。
Okay, so even at the end, I think there were still like all 4 of them. He sucked them in.
まだやれる。
えい、気合を入れろ。
行きます。
Up stealing the CP.
まずいな。マジかよ。
なんとかしないと。エニグマ。
まだやれる。
サイズ。
ピンチです。エニグマ君。それ。
ありがとう。まだやれる。
お返しです。ダメです。
Well, it's up to you, Lloyd.
それ。
助かりました。
行くぞ。まだやれる。
なんとかしないと。ドラ。いや。ダメです。
まだやれる。それ。
まだま
みんな。
だ。まだまだ。ほら。
今だわ。なんとかしないと。
ありがとう。
ました。
俺の番だな。
私の番です。
任せろ。行くぜ。
Suspicious. CHER11 bit for luck.
ダメです。
Thank you for the luck.
エニグマ。
任せてくれ。
大丈夫ですか。
Okay, we got it down to the 1 just like we wanted. Wish my team wasn't dying so much.
ありがとう。
俺の番だ。
はい。
そこだ。
行くぜ。行くぜ。
行くぞ。行って。
任せて。助かりました。さてドライブ開始。それ
ありがとう。よしで
任せろ。
お返しよ。さてと私の番ね。行きます。エニグマコド。それありがとう。
俺の番だな。
俺の番だな。
私の番です。ドライブか。やありがとう。
俺の番だな。
さてと
Yeah, we're gonna steal that upcoming critical.
俺の番だな。行くぜ。
助かりました。
俺の番だな。
行きます。エニグマコ。それありがとう。
行くぞ。
任せて。エニグマ。私の番です。ドライブ開始。助かります。それ
俺の番だな。
俺の番だな。
There we go.
私の番ね。
Just made him stop casting arts.
エニグマ駆動。ドライブ開始。
ありがとう。
それ
よし。
Hey, you exiled
Yes.
Randy.
気合を入れろ。
さてと今だわ。
We'll do this because this also gets rid of our burning.
私の番です。ドライブ開始。それ
よし。せいは
That pushes us all back to start.
私の番です。
Oh, yeah, I can't
エニグマ
keep getting out of my runes.
私の番ね。
Okay, who's got runes? Grants magic reflect. Party-wide effect. I don't think he's really a magic user. That's an interesting one to have in the back pocket.
行くぞ。
Stores 50 CP in tax and crafts. Okay, that's nice. Sure.
任せろ。
お返しよ。はい。えい。私の番ね。
ありがとう。
お返しよ。
任せろ。
さてエニグマクロや任せて。そこ
行くぞ。させるか。はあ。
はい
俺の番だな。
Do that. Just gonna banish Randy again.
よしやってや。
さてドライブ開始。
ありがとう。
今だわ。みんな
We're just on him. So I think just leaving the one guy
行くぞ。
alive has worked great for now.
えいでや。よし。
私の番です。
Boy, you can't just vanish half my team.
ありがとう。私の番です。
Okay, we're gonna steal that crit.
ドライブ開始。
俺の番だ。
やあ行きます。
さあ
We'll do this. I don't know what he's got up his sleeve, but let's have a guard on it. Oh, that was his absorption.
大丈夫ですか？助かりました。
よし。
今だわ。
Let's heal.
ありがとう。
That's what's
任せてく
annoying.
れ。
So, if you saw there, so we had a guard one up, but his nil hitty thing, which just moves you around, actually counts as an attack. So it voided the damage, thus using up our shield. So his actual attack still dealt damage. Just annoying.
私の番です。
俺の番だな。
行くぜ。
お返しです。
私の番ね。エニグマ。
助かりました。
任せてくれ。
行きます。エニグマコや
サンクス。甘いっての。
さてと。
ありがと
行きます。エニグマ駆動。
う。よし。
や
行くぜ。
ありがとう。
任せろ。
任せて。
Doing craft, so magic reflect won't help there.
エニグマ。
助かりました。さて。
よし。
Dang it, if only you could do that. Sure, defense
それ。
up. Probably a good idea.
みんな。
Jeez.
行くぞ。
今だわ。
ありがとう。
ました。
俺の番だな。
私の番です。
俺の番だ。
Exactly. If it was a lawyer with a gun, we wouldn't be having this problem. Sadly, the lawyer is already dead? Question mark?
行くぞ。よし。
私の番です。えい。
There's no way I can hit multiple of these. Okay.
俺の番だな。
気合を入れろ。
I've got a cop with a gun. Does that help?
すまない。みんな。
負けられない。お返しよ。ダメです。
You also have the CP one.
なんとかしないと。
ありがとう。
行くぜ。まずいな。マジかよ。
なんとかしないと。エニグマコ、それ。
負けるか。それ。
さて。エニグマコ。
よっしゃ。ほらよ。
俺の番だな。
Yeah, that swing us down to just the one. Now we can go ham on the one big guy. What we have to be careful of is making sure that you have enough S-craft.
ドライブ開始。
俺の番だな。
ダメです。
行くぜ。任せろ。
任せてくれ。
さてと。はい。ドライブ開始。ありがとう。
行くぜ。
俺の番だな。
マジかよ。
任せて。エニグマ。ダメです。
まだやれる。せんは。
大丈夫ですか。なんとかしないと。
Okay, you guys both get to move first, so you will do the res.
まだまだ。
There we go.
疲れました。
まだやれる。せんで。
マジかよ。
今のは。なんとかしないと。
Oh my gosh. If I'd like keyed up the S braking, it literally swiped my CP, so it failed.
まだやれる。せんで。
Wish they steal that crit.
はい。エニグマ。
俺の番だ。
やありがとう。私の番ね。エニグマ。
任せてくれ。はっありがとう。
ダメです。
行くぜ。おっしゃ。
さてとエニグマ。
任せてくれと行くぞ。よし
今のはなんとかしないと。
ありがとう。
俺の番だ。
私の番です。エニグマ駆動。それ
行くぞ。
行くぜ。
行くぞ。
Always him.
さてと
ありがとう。
さてドライブかや
行くぞ。
ありがとう。
やで
私の番ね。行くわよ。私の番です。ドライブ開始。それ
サン
お返しよ。
行くぞ。で
気合を入れろ。
おっしゃ。ぜ
はい。
Maybe that one would be a good one. Add incoming damage.
え
俺の番だな。で
行きます。
任せろ。
行くぞ。やっ
行きます。それや
任せろ。
今のは
行くぜ。
ありがとう。
ました。
任せろ。
任せて。
ここだ。よっ。
Okay, that half damage came in clutch.
エニグマ。助かりました。
任せてくれ。
おっしゃ。
私の番です。行きます。
行くぞ。
行きます。ドライブ開始。やありがとう。私の番ね。
Doing a craft. It looks like it's setting up again.
はい。今のは
ありがとう。
わかりました。さてエニグマ駆動。それ
任せてくれ。えいで
さて
that a scripted cutscene? I had a guard on. Yeah, I think I actually need to look up it, like, is this a timed thing? Because if I can't even beat that with guarding on... Apparently, that is an unavoidable attack that causes instant game over, because it vanishes your entire party. Well, that's annoying. So quickly take a look at how the dog is... Quiet. Okay, the dog is fine, so we're good to keep going. But yeah, apparently if you just let it get to that point, it's an instant game over. Which is kind of BS in my opinion. I'm never a fan of any time a game forces an instant game over. This was like the big issue I had with Final Fantasy 13 when I played it. With those bosses that have a timer, that if you can't beat it within that time, it's an instant game over.
私の番です。エニグマ起動。やあ、
行くぜ。
ありがとう。
行くぜ。
任せて。エニグマ駆動。任せて。
気合を入れろ。
俺の番だな。
お返しよ。今だわ。行きます。
ありがとう。
わかりました。はい。
行くぞ。
お返しよ。
行くぜ。
さて、そこです。任せて。やっ、
行くぜ。
お返しよ。
俺の番だ。
For one, killing them with S break seems to help.
俺の番
So
だ
they
な。
don't do that like guard
はい。
for 3 rounds, which is super annoying.
ドラ、それ。今だわ。私の番。
ありがとう。
わかりました。
行くぞ。
俺の番だ。
Did you really all just target her?
エニグマ駆動。チャンスです。皆さん。
任せてくれ。でや。
え、
Okay, it's just you that's muted.
行くぜ。任せろ。
俺の番だな。えいと。
さてと。さて。エニグマ駆動。助かりました。はい。ドライブ開始。
おっしゃ。
行くぞ。
え、やっ、さて、エニグマ駆動。それ。
俺の番だな。でや。
私の番ね。エニグマ
俺の番だ。
大丈夫ですか。
行くぞ。俺の番だな。
はい。
行くぜ。
エニグマ駆動。ありがとう。任せて。行きます。ドライブ開始。
ありがとう。俺の番だな。でや。
お返しです。今だわ。私の番ね。
ありがとう。
はい。ドライブ
行くぜ。
行くぞ。そこだ。
さてと
行くぞ。
行くぜ、任せろ。
I should get rid of both those.
そこだ。
私の番です。
Need healing.
ドライブ開始や
俺の番だな。やっで
任せてやっはいエニグマクロ
そこだ。
や
行くぞ。
ありがとう
And because it was hit during a counter, I don't think it gets to activate its guard there.
任せて
行くぜ。
I'm gonna just do some damage and grind CP.
いきますドライブや
任せてくれ。で
私の番です
任せろ。
俺の番だな。
私の番ね
サンキ
私の番ですエニグマ駆動エニグマ駆動
俺の番だな。
や
ありがとう。
さてとエニグマ
俺の番だ。サンキ気合を入れろ。
はい
俺の番だな。
私の番ねや
おっしゃ。
任せてくれ。
Okay.
やっで
はいそこです任せてやっ今のは任せて
ありがとう。
わかりました
行くぞ。行くぞ。
行くぜ。
私の番で
Again,
す
it's always Randy every single time. Oh, and that also gets inserted of your buffs. Bad knows that bit.
任せてくれ。
私の番ね
Not that I think that overly matters. It's a little bit annoying, but it's not that bad.
さ
行くぞ。それ。
私の番ねそこ
俺の番だな。
行きます行きますエンド式
俺の番だ。行くぜ。俺の番だ。
さてとそこ行きますえい
任せろ。
It's doing the same attack. Sorry, Cat. I cannot see the screen. I'm anywhere actively moving said screen away from me.
私の番です。
Right?
そこで
Rendered
す。
him in some kind of
Daijoubu
weird
desu
loop.
俺の番だ。
Gosh, cat.
さてと、今のは
ありがと
わかりました。行きます。
う。よし。
俺の番だ。
I'm sorry, cat. I cannot see with you there. Hello, Joe. Yeah, thank you for the drive-by. This is like our, I don't know, 5th attempt. We got really close last time, and then it has an ability that just auto-vanishes your entire team, and you just lose. So that was great.
エニグマ駆動。
任せてくれ。セット。
行くぜ。
行くぞ。
任せろ。
よし。
Oh,
私
we're
の番
so
です。
close.
そこです。
That's the move that just wipes your entire party. He literally was like one attack away from dying.
任せてくれ。
任せて。そこ。今のは。光の。
ありがとう。
はい。
I love you.
俺の
I
番
know
だ。
it's almost your feeding time, but almost your feeding time does not mean the feeding time.
お返しよ。お返しよ。
行くぜ。
任せてくれ。行くぞ。
お返しよ。
今。私の番です。
ありがとう。
私の番です。そこです。
行くぞ。任せてくれ。
お返しよ。お返しよ。
行くぜ。
私の番ね。やっ。
行くぜ。俺の番だ。
ドライブ開始。
ありがとう。任せてくれ。
お返しよ。ダメです。
俺の番だな。
気合を入れろ。
お返しよ。
負けるか。それ。
助かりました。
まずいな。
まだやれる。
なんとかしないと。エニグマ君。それ。ありがとう。
すまない。みんな。
行くぜ。行くぜ。
エニグマ君。
ありがとう。すまない。みんな。ありがとう。
ました。
俺の番だな。
私の番です。
俺の番だ。
Probably focus on putting a bit more damage on the big guy and just hope that counter kill or AoE arts kill the others.
ありがとう。任せてくれ。
エニグマクロや任せて。そこ
任せろ。
俺の番だな。
私の番です。エニグマクロ
ありがとう。任せてくれ。
任せて。そこ
行くぜ。おっしゃ。
Exiled again.
そこです。大丈夫ですか。
よし。
さてと助かりました。
行くぞ。そこだ。任せてくれ。
私の番です。そこです。今だわ。
ありがとう。
ました。
任せてくれ。
さてドライブかや。
行くぜ。
ありがとう。私の番です。エニグマクロ
俺の番だな。
それ今だわ。みんな
おっしゃ。
Missed.
行くぜ。
行きます。エニグマクロや
ありがとう。任せてくれ。
お返しよ。私の番です。ドラそれはいさてとエニグマ
俺の番だな。
助かりました。
行くぜ。
私の番です。ドライブ開始。それ
任せてくれ。えいでや。
さて
行くぜ。
行きます。ドライブ開始や
サンクス。
さてと
行くぞ。でや。
私の番ね。
行くぞ。
私の番ね。お返しよ。
気合を入れろ。
私の番です。そこです。私の番ね。今だわ。
ありがとう。
ました。
おっしゃ。ほらよ。
俺の番だな。
行 行きます。そこです。
行くぜ行くぜ。
Exiled again. Why is it always Rain Temp? Is Rain not the only one using like S-Craps against him? Boy, I needed that CP. Dicks.
任せてくれ。
はい、そこです。
俺の番だな。やっと。
私の番ね。そこ。はい。それ。
行くぜ。
よし。
We literally... Okay, I gotta lower because we literally keep getting to that exact same point. I've tried focusing him, I've tried focusing the enemies. We might just be a little under-leveled or under-equipped for this. We're consistently getting to that point where he's almost dead and then he like does his insta-kill. It might just be a timing thing, which honestly would really suck if that's how they designed this.
よし。
行くぜ。行くぜ。おっしゃ。
俺の番だな。 ありがとう。よし。やっと。
おっしゃ。
ダメです。大丈夫ですか？今のは。
Since I always feel like they're hitting harder on lower difficulty.
行くぜ。
お返しです。
任せろ。
Dang, that doesn't hit the big guy.
Yosh! Makasete kure!
任せろ。 行くぜ。
チャンスです。皆さん。
俺の番だな。任せてくれ。
今のは。
そこだ。
任せて。
ありがとう。
行きます。ドライブ開始。それ。
よし。
任せろ。
俺の番だな。
行きます。エニグマクリア。
おっしゃ。
行くぞ。
気合を入れろ。
よし。
行くぜ。おっしゃ。
Oh, there, you finally banished someone else for once.
私の番です。
Well, that's no bueno.
エニグマクやありがとう。さてドライブ開始。そこそれ行きます。ドライブや私の番ね。
任せてくれ。でありがとう。
任せろ。
行きます。エニグや
任せてくれ。
俺の番だ。行くぜ。
私の番です。ドライブ開始。それ
行くぞ。
ありがとう。私の番ね。
ありがとう。任せてくれ。
はい。ドライブ開始や
サンキ任せろ。
行くぞ。
私の番です。エニグマコドや
ありがとう。
お返しよお返しよ。
任せろ。
行くぞ。
私の番です。エニグマコド任せて。やお返しよお返しよ。
行くぜ行くぜ。
俺の番だな。えいっと
助立ちします。はい。それ
任せろ。
俺の番だな。や行ってや。俺の番だな。
What's that?
さてと
It like healed itself a little bit?
任せてくれ。えいでや。
俺の番だな。行くぜ。俺の番だな。
俺の番だな。
私の番ね。エニグマ
任せろ。
お返しよ。
行くぜ。
Okay, could you just lick the microphone?
行くぞ。やは行くぞ。行くぞ。
はい。エニグマ起動。
Did you just sneeze into the microphone?
やっ
甘いっての俺の番だ。
任せてくれ。
今のは私です。さてと
ありがとう。
行きます。
行くぞ。
任せろ。気合を入れろ。
私の番です。エニグマクレ
行くぜ。
ありがとう。
よっしゃ。
Jumping around the team earlier.
私の番ね。やっ
よし。せいは。
行きます。そこです。
行くぞ。
任せて。エニグマ。助かりました。私の番です。
It's not a toy.
エニグマクレ
Bubby. That's a receipt, not a toy.
任せてくれ。
It's not even a receipt for a toy.
私の番ね。エニグマ。お返しよ。行きます。ドライブから
行くぜ。
任せてくれ。みんなおう。
そこ。
行くぜ。任せろ。
Hey. Leave it. The mic stand.
私の番です。ドライブ。それ。
俺の番だな。
さてと。やっ。はい。
俺の番だな。すってや。
はい。
俺の番だな。みんな、一気に行くぞ。
甘いっての
俺の番だな。
行くぜ。
I know, but we
私の番ね。
almost.
やっ。
よし。
Okay, I thought for a second that was the one that like wipes the team.
やっと。行くぞ。
行くぜ。
行くぞ。
行くぜ。
私の番です。へい。任せて。はい。
Okay, is that it? Is that the final phase? Excuse you, that's my phone. Excuse you. This is how you bumped water off last time. I'll take my phone back.
キーヤちゃん。シミ。そして絶望。
キーヤ、しっかりしろ。聞こえてるなら返事をしてくれ。
そんな、まさかこのままかつての幻の司法のように。それって。
自分自身の手で消滅してしまったという。
ロイドさん。なんですの。
どうするつもりだ。
大 丈夫だ。そこで待っていてくれ。俺が必ずこの子をキアをこの手で。
Into the white void we go.
.ここはみんなはキアはどこに行ったんだ。どう考えても普通の場所じゃなさそうだ。むやみに動き回るわけにもいかなさそうだけどどうしてだろう。こんなに何もない場所なのになぜか不安や恐れは不思議なほど感じない。一体この場所は。
どんな状況でも慌てずに踏みとどまって現場の把握に努める。だいぶ捜査官として板についてきたじゃないか。おなんだ、どうしたロイド。久しぶりの再会に口も聞けないくらい驚いたのか。
兄貴。兄貴なのか。
兄貴だなんてカッコつけてんじゃねえっての。前みたいに兄ちゃんって呼べばいいだろうが、2人しかいないんだから遠慮なく甘えていいんだぜ。
放っておいてくれよ。でもその減らず口間違いなく兄貴みたいだな。夢でもないみたいだし。
ああ、どうやらここはあの子の内面の一部らしいな。あらゆる可能性を内包しつつ世界を再構成できる。どうやら
ゼロの世界。兄ちゃんが兄貴が現れているのも。
ああ、おそらくあの子は過去の時空間に干渉することで俺という存在を知ったんだろう。そしてお前やセシル、アリオスやティオたちのためにも俺を蘇らせようとしたのかもしれん。
兄貴を。
まあ正確には今の世界を俺が死ななかった世界に紡ぎ直すってことだろうけどな。どうだロイド、お兄様が戻ってきたら嬉しいか、それともうざったいか。
そんなの嬉しいに。でもそれは
俺が死んだ後の時間を、そこで頑張ってきた人々の努力を、ま当然そうなるだろうな。特務支援課だったか。俺も参加してお前らと一緒にいろんな事件を解決している世界もありえたのかもしれねえが、それは今のお前らの世界じゃない。
ああ、本当にそんな世界があったらどんなに楽しくて嬉しくて幸せだろうと思うけど、それでも。
ああ、それでいい。
Bubby, I know it's almost dinner time.
お前がそう言えるようになったのを俺は誇りに思うぜ。
Well, that's where we get the hair
あの甘えん
messing
坊がよ
thing.
くここまででかくなったもんな。
兄ちゃんなんかに甘えた記憶はないっての。セシル姉にならともかく。
そうだったな。セシルも自分のために歩き始めてもいい頃合いだ。なんだったらお前思い切ってアタックしてみたらどうだ。天然ボケだからなかなか気づいてくれなさそうだけどな。
うるさい。セシル姉をバカにするな。兄ちゃんなんかにはもったいない最高の女性なんだからな。
違いない。まあお前も自分の相手はちゃんと見つけておけよ。野郎同士でつるむのが楽しいってのもわかるけどよ。
ああ、
ミステリアスなやつだが信頼はできるみてえだな。真面目なお前とも逆に合ってるみてえだし、これも何かの縁ってやつか？
ああ、俺もそう思う
Did
よ。
it pick Wazi because he's our highest divinity?
ワジに会ってほしかった。エリーやランディ、それにもちろん
ティオか。いろいろあったみてえだが、
We don't
いい子に育っ
speak
てく
about
れて何より
Noel.
だぜ。
We don't speak about Noel.
エリーっての
He's
は
not there.
才色兼備で行動力もあるお嬢様だったが、ランディってのもバカっぽくていい仲間に恵まれたみたいだな。
ああ、最高の
I'm
仲
glad
間
we
た
didn't
ち
try
だ。
to beat this last stream. We've already gone 3 more hours. I was expecting this to take maybe 2
そろそ
and a
ろ
half.
大切なものを取り戻して、
And we're just starting
みんなの
cutscenes.
ところに帰るためにも、またいつか会えるよな。
ああ、俺はお前たちの近くにいる。泣きたくなったら、甘えたくなったらいつでも呼んでくれりゃいい。
わかった。でもどんなに苦しくても壁は乗り越えられると思う。みんながいて、その向こうにある明日をつかむためだった。
Please don't change the scene on me, Cat. There we go. Thank you.
だから大丈夫。安心して見守っていてくれよな。
生意気言いやがって。今のお前ならあの子を本当の意味で見つけられるはずだ。殻の中に閉じこもったお姫様を見つけ出して抱きしめてやれ。
ああ、さよなら。
There's one last test from Kia to make sure that we could move on.
生きている限り壁はいつだって現れるもんだ。大切なのは乗り越える意志と、その先にどんな光を見出すか。気張れよ、ロイド・バニングス。
Little wait, Bubby.
見つけた。
どうして
Asked us to please find her.
聞こえたからさ。いつだって俺は
We did find her.
キーヤの声が聞こえていた。耳を澄ませてキーヤの心の声がどこにいるかが分かったよ。
そっか。でもキーヤ、ロイドにそんな風にしてもらう資格なんだって。
キーヤ、生まれがどうであろうと。
違わないよ。キーヤは本物の人間じゃないし、心や魂だって本物じゃない。そんな風に優しくしてもらえる、守ってもらえる資格なんてなかった。それなのにキーヤは
なあ、キーヤ。キーヤが俺たちのところに来てから半年以上経って、どれだけの幸せを俺たちにくれたと思う？多分それはキーヤが感じた幸せと同じか。キーヤはさ、俺たちといて楽しくなかったか？
楽しかった。すごく幸せだった。でもそれはロイドたちがそう感じるようにキーヤが仕向けただけかもしれない。大切なみんなの心を操っていただけかもしれない。そんなの
こら、あのな、きっかけはどうかは知らないよ。俺たちには操られた実感もないし、子猫や人間の赤ちゃんだって無条件に愛らしくて守りたくなる存在だろ。キーヤのそうした力だってせいぜいその程度じゃないのか。そして俺たちの過ごした時間は、俺と一緒に料理の練習をしたり、同じベッドで寝て エリーと一緒に本を読んだり、みんなの洗濯物を屋上に干したこと、ティオと一緒に掃除をしたり、ミッシーの限定グッズを買ったこと、ランディと一緒にポーカーをしたり、
Why are we teaching her how to play poker, Randy?
課長と洗い物をしたり、サイトたちと昼寝をしたこと。
Why is Randy's contribution teaching her how to play poker? I feel like everyone else had like meaningful
嘘だ
contributions.
った。
それは嘘じゃないと思
Cooking,
う。
cleaning, laundry, dishes,
だったらそれが、
naps is like a form of self-care, and then learning how to play poker.
そしてその真実がある限り、
And I guess also teaching her how to do
この先
groceries with
どんな困
poker.
難が迫ろうと、俺たちだからキーヤ、一人で全部背負う必要はないんだ。それはキーヤも含めて俺たち全員で頑張ればいいんだから。それが仲間で家族っていうものだろ。キーヤ、
Bubby. You gotta wait.
相変わらずいいタックルだ。さあ帰ろう。みんなが俺たちを待っている。このまま抱っこするからちゃんと捕まっているんだぞ。
So I looked at what Beardy said. Apparently, Kia stands for Key of All.
まったく
What's it?
兄顔負けの無鉄砲さだ。
Yeah, Key of All.
ただいまみんな。
I guess she was the key to everything that they needed for this plan.
ロイド、よかった。
And that was in one of the
大丈夫
books.
ですか？
Frostspell Archives.
元の姿に戻ったみてえだが。
ああ、もう大丈夫だ。ほらキーヤ、みんなに言うことがあるだろ。
ごめん、ずっと心配かけて、勝手なことばかりして、それから来てくれてありがとう。
How's Bella gonna take? She's just standing nicely behind us.
お礼なんて必要ないです。
まあ帰ったらお尻ペンペンくらいは覚悟しろ。
ああ、もう泣くことないだろ。
これが
まったくつまらない幕引きですわね。
マリアベルさん、
ベル、まだやるつもりなの？やるも何も。キーヤさんから司法の力は失われてしまった。黒い助の千年の猛襲とともに、本当に拍子抜けもいいところですわ。
ベル、教団の悪夢も本当の意味で終わりです。
ええ、ですがこの先さらなる最悪がクロスベルを待ち受けているでしょう。特にエレボニアはどちらの勢力が内戦に勝利しても侵攻してくる可能性は高いはず。
And that might be foreshadowing Cold Steel 3 and 4.
カルバードも対抗して軍を派遣するのは間違いありません。
え
だろうな。
ですが 司法を失った以上あなた方に食い止める術はない。それは分かっていますわよ。
それでも俺たちはキーヤと共にこの選択を選んだ。最悪という壁を共に乗り越え明日という光をつかむために。だから後悔はしません。
はい今まで以上に
だが
Sorry,
ここに来
Bobby.
るまで
I
だっ
know
て
it's past
散
me.
々苦労してきてるからな。
警察も今まで以上に真価が問われることとなるだろう。
私も及ばずながら力になります。
付き合いきれませんわね。まあそういうことならばせいぜい頑張るといいでしょう。
マリアベルさん。
ああ、イアン先生ですけど、きちんと処置すれば助かるでしょう。それと司法の力が失われたことでもって数時間、せいぜい早めに脱出なさいな。
あんた
どうして
今回の顛末がどうなってもクロスベルは立つつもりでしたから。ウロボロスのマスター殿に欠けた人の代わりを務めるよう望まれていたの。
使徒結社の最高幹部ですか。ベル、あなた。
So she is now an Ouroboros head. Or will be very
エリ
shortly.
ー、そんな顔しないでちょう。大陸がこうなってしまった以上、いずれまた会う機会もあるでしょう。それまでの間、遠くの地よりしかと見せていただあなた方の悪あがきをね。
ベル、
それとお父様ですけど、極刑は勘弁してあげてちょうだい。クロスベルの立て直しに少しは役に立つでしょうから。
It'll be Bubby. I know.
それでは皆さん、ごきげんよう。
ベル、最後まで。
確かに致命傷。みんな手分けし、それにアリオスさんたちも解放して運ぶ必要があるだろう。
あと数時間で大樹が崩壊するそうだから急ぐ必要がありそうだな。
メルカバに連絡をして手分けをした方が良さそうです。それに最後までマリアベルさんはマリアベル。
ああ、あれも人徳ってやつなのかね。
ベルは多分どこまでも自分に正直なんだと思う。一度やりたいと思ったことは何のためらいもなく、たとえ一人でも全く気にせずに。でもみんながベルみたいに強いわけじゃない。
ああ、だからこそ人は壁を乗り越え、まだ見ぬ明日の光をつかむためには。
ま、光が見えるのはまだまだ先にはなりそうだが、それでもなんとかなりそうって気分にはなってくるな。
はい、ここにいる人間だけでもこれだけのことができました。クロスベル中の力を合わせたら何だってできるような気がします。
確かにな。
キーヤも頑張る。みんなと一緒に大切な場所を守るために。キーヤちゃん、千人力です。
その息だぜ。
ああ、一緒に頑張ろう。特務支援課撤収。アリオスさんたちを回収しつつ、メルカバで大樹より離脱する。戻ろう、俺たちのクロスベルに。
Okay. And we have credits. I'm guessing there's gonna be something after. But here's the tree disappearing. Just like Maria Bell said it would. I guess we'll bring Wall with us. Fine. voice acting. That's good for them. I like when games have a lot of voice acting. Kia gets her own line. That's a nice touch.
こうして俺たちは無事クロスベル市へ戻った。
I like this art style.
ディーター大統領、いや市長は改めて逮捕されることとなり、しばしの間マクダエル議長がクロスベル市長を兼任することになった。そして別れ。ワジたちは後遺症の残ったバルドとアルテリア王国へと帰って行き、他の来訪者もそれぞれの道のためクロスベルに長い別れを告げた。片やうごめく者たちがいた。見食らう蛇は彼らの計画を遂行するためさらなる力を得て大陸全土への監視を始め、内戦が続いていたエレボニア帝国では鉄血宰相が貴族勢力を駆逐し勝利を収めた。そしてクロスベルは帝国の占領下2年に及ぶ苦難の季節を迎える。
And this is, I think, setting up what'll end up being part of Cold Steel 3. Wow. So aside from that final battle, which I found infuriating, that it had essentially a time limit before they auto-kill your entire party, I found the final, I guess, story rather enjoyable. It gave me feelings of some of the other pieces. We talked about Steins Gate. It also felt like Higurashi at times. There's other JRPGs that kind of have this trope of someone is a doll that they're created and that they don't have a soul, and kind of wrestling with that. I won't go into what those games are because that would be spoilers if you're not aware of which characters may or may not be dolls. But I can think of at least 2 off the top of my head. I know, Bubby. And now it looks like, so we've got some cutscenes from during those 2 years of occupation where my cat is yeeting my phone into the ground. But they're leading up the resistance, it looks like. Doing whatever they can to keep the Erebonian Empire from taking over Crossbell. I guess Risha gets to kind of do her thing, because at least at a face, because people don't necessarily know that she is this assassin lady yet. At least the average person doesn't. I think they're supposed to be a little bit older here, so I think that's supposed to be post those 2 years that they're talking about. Just based off of some of, especially the younger people, how tall they are. A bit hard to say. course there is extras. Sure, I will save a clear data. But yeah, that was Trails to Azure. There's the new title screen now that we've beaten the game. What's in extras, just while we're here?
エクストラモードだよ。特典を開放しちゃう。
So you can get certain things.
実績を
I think this is just all the Steam achievements, yeah. So these ones you unlock with your points, and by beating it, we have that many points. It's not even enough to get all these different menus, so they definitely want some replayability in that.
それじゃあ、また
But yeah. This has been a good series. I think as a whole, Zero and Azure, I think beats any other series. Not that I've, finished Cold Steel. The only game I think might be better is just the first two games of Trails in the Sky. The cliffhanger of 1 into the start of 2 is one of my top video game cliffhanger transitions into a new game of all time, if not the top. That's the only thing I'm trying to think of if that tops it. The other thing I'm trying to think of is, now that we know we died at the end of the first game, if we went back to look at that ending cutscene, is there anything there, any clues that we could have unearthed this ourselves, being a detective before we got to that point? That's an interesting thing to look at. Yeah, once again, thanks to everyone who stuck around with me for all of this. This was, I think, a 22 episode stream. I'm not quite sure how many hours it was total, but probably over 60. I'll do my final stats in Discord once I upload this video. But yeah, thanks everyone again for tuning in.